they desire to be put into certain positions because, boy, they can, whatever it is, I can say this goes and nothing else goes. And that's in, no matter whether it's in church or secular world, I'm in power, and this is the rule, and this is the way it's gonna go. No matter what you say about it.
The hem of the border, the garments,
Yeah.
All this, like you said, going over that, it's all vanity.
It's all vanity, vexation of spirit. Anything else from anybody? We'll kind of stop right there. It's about 10 after 7. I was gonna get into the cloak. I know it's not in this right here, I don't think, like this right here, but we were gonna look into the cloak tonight too and some things, so we'll save that to the next time we meet. For it goes with verse 13, for brethren, ye have been called unto liberty, only use not liberty for an occasion, okay, to the flesh. This freedom we have. Remember, we were once part of that flesh, of the thing. But by love serve one another. And then I was going to let us look into this cloak, not using this liberty, not using these things as a cloak of maliciousness, to really jab at people and people that come against us, because we got to love one another. Because we might even sit back and think about ourselves, how that when we were of the flesh, that we might have jabbed at some of them that were in church, that were doing right, and we kind of, got after them. So then, now here we are in this position, and sometimes we have, and I think it goes with sitting in the high seats, the places of the Pharisees and Sadducees and the high order of the Sanhedrin, if you want to have it, high order in our things, and boy, I've got the power, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to stop what goes, or we're going to pass what goes, just because that's the way, not if it's right, not if it's righteous, but we're going to do this just because we want to do it this way. Because there's a group of people that wants us to do it this way, not if it's right. Because if I lose this people, then maybe my funds will go away. Maybe some of the people will leave and go away. That our congregation won't be as big. And I won't be asked to come and teach or preach, or you won't be allowed to do this or do that. And so I look at you, if you preach Christ, and Paul found that out,
And he said it back there, didn't he? Preaching this, and had said preaching circumcision, everybody said it.
Yeah.
I'm still being persecuted.
Yeah, if I still preach circumcision, I ain't. In other words, he wasn't changing the word.
Yeah.
He wasn't changing. Paul couldn't change the word, even if he wanted to. I can't change the word. Now, I might reword it. I might give a different interpretation of my own, and we can have our own, but you cannot change the word. Why? Why can't you? Because it's forever settled in the heavens. And when we come up in judgment time, why did you not? You knew it. You knew of this word, so why did you not preach it, teach it, and so you were shown? Why did you not do it? And if you changed it because to fit the groups, to fit great accolades, great gain, all those type of things, then God's going to know that. Because it deviates from His word. He said, don't add to, don't take away. And there's consequences when we do. Anything else?
Thank the Lord for saving.
So, the Lord's willing, we'll pick up on 13.
Well, I appreciate you doing a deeper discussion on that circumcision and answering my question. I never thought about, I knew you had to have the circumcision of the heart, to be saved. But then you start talking about the circumcision of the ear.
Yeah.
You gotta retrain yourself to think and circumcise yourself from the past religion. I never thought about that.
That's good. It puts us to thinking, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. listen to Tim most of the time when he goes out and you film and stuff, and you see that he gets people, hopefully, that's what our goal is to get people to think of things different. You know, that it's, you know, we've been hammered this way and told this way and rooted in this way, and then sometimes our own personal or our denominational beliefs and so on like that, and sometimes it's a conglomeration of people, you know, that it's this way and that way, we settle on a certain way, this is how we're gonna do it, but still yet, are we thinking spiritually, or are we thinking of it still as the flesh, you know? So, it's like, Ray and I one time, you know, we had a discussion here, how that you look at a certain diagram, or how you're gonna look at it. And I believe he brought up a bucket on a loader or something other one time. Here, I can't remember exactly what it was, and he said, well, it's simple, you do it this way. And I told him of a thing about, I had a learning disabled young man, you know, we was trying to figure out how to put this fender on a trailer thing. They had to work a certain direction. We sat, and there was a bunch of us looked at that thing, could not figure out how it went. He said, I can tell you how it goes. That's what put it on. Man, he just took, put it, said it just fit. I mean, it's just like putting a puzzle together. So, you know, sometimes people think things different, you know, and our ways wasn't right, because we had tried it. We even thought about cutting it in two and putting it back on, welding it up. I mean, you know, coming to some hard things, you know, and it just, I mean, it was just so the right combination, and it just went on. Because he had stood back, watched us all, give it our little try, and he put it on. Might as well fold her up that way. You know? So but you know that that's the way. You know that that's the way. It fit. So when people has these things, sometimes you look and you say, well, you know, my idea, I wasn't trying to do wrong with it, or nor theirs wasn't trying to do wrong with it, but it still wasn't the right way. That way he said, just fit right on. Anything else?